Hey gang, Joyce with Skipping Cas Farms here. Well, we got another interesting adventure today. I have here about a 500 or 700 pound 5-foot bale of hay. I could get this much hay for the same price as I could get 5 square bales. So I chose to do that. Now here I am in my upper 60s by myself, just this crazy little old woman. And you can see, you look at the Jeep, you can see, well, the springs are a little old, so how that's sitting down there, see how that's sitting up there? Yeah, there's a little bit of weight, and it shifted a little bit to this side of the axle, so there is a bit of tongue weight. Now the question is, how am I going to get this little bugger, big bugger, off of this thing? I don't have any equipment. I don't have any help. My tire is starting to go flat. So what I've done is I pulled forward, and it is a tip trailer, but I'm going to have to get the hay bale back before I can get the trailer to tip. And I want that hay bale to roll and sit on these cinder blocks. I put that extra cinder block to the back just in case it gets a little momentum to hopefully stop it so it won't run into and damage my greenhouse. But this is where the Lord told me to put it, so this is where I'm going to put it, and I'm going to try and figure out how to make this work. So I haven't decided exactly for sure what I'm going to do at this point. Probably what I'm going to do is loosen the hay bale, because the trailer is leaning that way, so it's going to tend to roll the wrong direction. I do have a jack stand, but that's not going to do me any good because you can see all that weight's on the tongue. So probably I'm going to take something like this piece of bed frame and use it as a lever to roll that back. One of the things I should have done when I put it on was do what I did in the back. I didn't think of it, quite frankly. When I put it in the back, I didn't want it to roll back, and so I bolted these 2x4s down. Well, you can see it's actually rolled several inches to the front. So what I may try and do is, if nothing else, pound a hook from a ratchet strap into the hay bale and pull it forward. Even if I can only do it a few inches at a time, I'll get these 2x4s out of the way, and then I'll nail a 2x4 at the bottom down here and just ratchet it back. I may end up having to do that. I may end up doing that with one of those little green ratchet straps, because that hook will probably go into the hay better than this one. So, and then if I ratchet it back about 6 or 8 inches, even if it takes me an hour or so, once I get it back so the bottom of the bale, I'm just thinking this as I'm talking, right, gang? So if I can get the bottom of that bale balanced about there, or even before it gets there, I have two choices. I can either open up the pin, remove the pin here and let the trailer pivot, or just use the lever and or the ratchet strap to just continue to ratchet it back and let it just drop off. I haven't decided, haven't prayed about that yet. So haven't prayed about what I just talked about yet. So I'll get confirmation before I do it. But That's where I'm being led to do. But as you can see, you know, it did roll forward because I came down a pretty good sized hill. And in fact, before I came down my driveway, I tightened the strap down just a little bit because I had seen it move a couple of inches. So that's where we are with this gang. Regrettably, as usual, you know, there's no way I can really show you what I'm actually doing, but and the videos are visually not very compelling, I know. But the idea is, if it helps me to clarify my thoughts when I share it with you on video, and if you're so inclined and you're trying to learn things, hopefully my thought processes might help you within your own context, because everybody has to deal with their own context. If anybody's seen any of the Greg Judy videos, he talks about if you're going to unroll hay, you use the pet the cat method. So the pet the cat method is you can go like this and pet the hay bale, but if you try and do it this way, you can't. So that's what he's talking about when he's talking about pet the cat method. And I'm looking in this hay, and it looks like pretty good hay. It's got a good little bit of seed in it, so it'll be a little bit more high protein, I hope. But you ask, well, Joyce, why didn't you just get a few bales? You've only got 2 sheep. You could have gotten away with, you know, 5 to 7 bales of hay for the whole winter. Well, yeah, but that would have been $50 to $75. Okay, so what do you have now other than the problem of getting it off the trailer? What I have now is a huge roll of hay. I can use it for composting, I can use it for mulching, I can use it for bedding, I can use it for covering bare spots, and I can use it for feeding my sheep. Well, how you gonna feed your sheep with a great big old roll like that? Well, number one, I had gotten some inexpensive 5-foot tarps, so I'll be able to cover this with some tarps. And I've got a bigger tarp that I could use to cover the whole thing, and it's an old billboard sign. It's a billboard tarp, so it'll be heavy duty. But how am I going to get it off? Well, what I can do is I can just take my little weed eater and I can run across the top like this. Can you see my hand? Yeah, there we go. I can run my weed eater vertically, so my hand is like the nylon, right, like the line, and cut it like this. And if you handle it right, you can cut down into the hay bale and get you what would be the equivalent of a flake. And then peel that off, just peel that off and put it in a wheelbarrow or a Vermont cart or something, and then I've got me a flake of hay. That's what we're gonna do. In the meantime, wish me luck. We'll see what we can do. Every day is an adventure. You never know. That's what I love about being here on the property and doing what I'm doing with the livestock and the soils. Every day is different. Every day is a challenge. And every day is a jigsaw puzzle. And every day is a problem, quite frankly. But if making things work with what you have is something that interests you, then this is cool. If you like things to go your way and things to be smooth and just kind of know what you're going to do tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, you might want to think twice before farmsteading. But if you stop and think about it, really, in terms of a class of people in the over history, with the exception of maybe the last 70 years or so, farmers were the leaders of every community because they were the folks that they may not have had a formal education, but they had to figure things out. They had to learn how to observe, and they had to learn how to process, and they had to learn how to solve problems. They were the informal construction, civil, mechanical engineers of their time. And that's why they were always leaders in the community. And usually some of the hardest working folks and the just salt of the earth kind of folks. You always think of farming people when you think of salt of the earth, because they have to live by faith, because they know nature is a whole lot bigger than them. And so with that, gang, I'm gonna stop the video. My hands are getting cold and I've got work to do. So whatever you do, just keep chasing the dream, and blessings for the day.